Hello, my friend. Today I'll be talking about so-called Solomon's plan of the chosen nation, plan of the man in black hats. I'm not going to use proper word for them because I don't want this video to be removed, so I hope you understand who I'm talking about. I'm not going to be talking anything like expansion of Zionism. Also, I'm not talking here about all the chosen nation people because there is many simple everyday people from that nation. All I want to talk about is to reveal what you can find in a Bible, in a Kabbal and other historical papers and articles. Solomon's plan is a myth. In fact, there was many plans already before and they all failed. Well, I'm not going to deny Men in Black Hats expansion in order to take over the world either. Why are we talking about this? Where is Solomon and where we are? Why this subject is so important? What's the relevance? I'd say it's malignant because white people are in such a depressed state still, though the chains we think we are locked up in doesn't exist anymore. But we keep ourselves in those chains, securing our slavery. We're so used to that there is some kind of bosses behind the scenes. They decide everything for us. They have hands over everything and our resistance is useless. When in fact we can make our lives better and dispel the parasites. Look, we already don't need banks because we have cryptocurrencies. We don't need insurers, those arrogant thieves, because we have blockchains and smart contracts. For same reason we don't need notaries. We don't even need parliament anymore because we have internet. So parliament in the form as it is at the moment is not needed. We are actually free, but now voluntarily we strive for the usual cause. We like to be rough, we like to be pushed around and bullied. That's how it looks like. Well, look at the France and Russia, for example. In France, on fundament of bank, in fact, basically the occupation commandant's office of the bank unleashed real terror against the population and especially against businesses. Economic is objective, therefore spirit doesn't exist because there is no stimulation or help. But meanwhile, China grows beautifully in same field where the Europe is dying. Governments made up from criminals, sadists, pedophiles, some insane individuals that lives in some unknown dream world are totally incapable. Russia is in dictatorship. We all see it all around, but we still keep obeying. In France, army and police combined is only 200,000 people that are capable to grab weapons somehow. That's a drop in the ocean for 60 million country. We know people was many times humiliated by trampling their opinions expressed in referendums, forced out by migrants, forced gay marriages with rights to adopt children. France was robbed by Masons and financists, but everybody is silent. Why? Because people are convinced that there is some mighty Solomon's plan, that everywhere is all-seeing Illuminati that displays their satanic signs and codes on every single corner. While conspirology theorists point at those signs and codes triggering people's fears and intimidation to already scared people. Like, look, there is satanic signs all around the place. They got us, they're gonna destroy us. I better don't twitch because then they're going to drink my blood slowly and it's not going to hurt. If you twitch, they're going to put you straight to the meat grinder for adrenochrome. It's plain psychological fear-mongering. When in fact, it's just all big show to keep us entertained, to keep us asleep, so we don't see the real problem and what's actually important. Okay, so today we're going to trace Solomon. We're going to trace his plans without conspirology prism of horror. Basic information about Solomon you can find in the Old Testament. Addition to Old Testament, Solomon is figurant in many legends, tales, and stories. So, the first plan of the Solomons was construction of the temple and spread the Jewish religion concept to all the world from that religious center. Therefore, first temple was built under Solomon's. It was built luxurious, of course, and in the temple was placed the main Jewish shrine called the Ark of the Covenant. The plan collapsed during the life of the king. The Ark of Covenant was stolen from the temple without any trace. They still can't find it. Solomon dissolved his harem, married Egyptian pharaoh's daughter, turned away from the Yahweh, took Egyptians' religion, and that's how the first plan collapsed. Another foxy plan of the Solomons was to give birth to myriad descendants. For that plan, as we know from Old Testament, cunning grandpa gathered huge amount of wives. As in Bible it says number 700. On top of those two battalions of 350 wives, he gathered another 300 concubines. He never married them. I don't know the reason, maybe because he wanted to save on the weddings, I don't know. So, those divisions of the queens would give a birth to be king's offspring, and by help of dynastic marriages, King Solomon would implicate whole world. Did that plan work? No! He managed to have only 3 sons. From predictions, God's chosen nation moving forward with the Solomon plan in their tablets and are already close to go. They say the final finale of this plan awaits us in accordance with space cycles in the age of Aquarius, that which started just now. Man in black hats wants to conquer world, and they are nearly dead. But are they?
יעשו פה...
בשביל לשרת את היהודים. כל הגויים שאתה רואה שיש בעולם, המיליארדים האלה, הם הכל רק בשביל שהיהודים יהיה להם איזה תועלת. אז כל אחד יהיה לו...
יהיה לו...
אלפים עבדים. 2,800 עבדים.
The source that is used for those predictions is Book of the Prophet Daniel. I will start from the end of the book. Daniel is in fact very first one who put forward that thesis that Goyim have to serve elites. Daniel himself, at the time of forwarding those theses, is in captivity, in slavery. Therefore, his notes should be considered as semi-destructive dreams of persecuted person. Therefore, his script by Jews are not counted as prophetic. Daniel in his book mixes up dates, names, and even rulers. For example, Balthasar was by no means son or grandson of Nabucodonosor and died not inside Babylon but outside during the battle. Also, Daniel mixes up the kings of Persians, Dara and Cyrus. There is counted dozens of the errors in his book, and that's another reasons led Jewish people to conclusion that Daniel can't be counted as a prophet. But even if we're not talking about Daniel, there can't be any strategic plan among men in a black hats. And never such a plan existed, especially Millennium Plan, because in accordance with their concept of such a fundament, God is omnipresent. There is an expression, the ways of the Lord are inscrutable. That means we can't understand, we can't know God's plans. Any plan of a man, in fact, at the point is challenged to God, and those plans are going to be destroyed or not going to resist. Of course, we cannot deny the chosen nation as such was specifically created to master control over the world. But they never had such a long-term plans. They always act according to circumstances and today's possibilities. Yes, it's true, they achieved maximum success and power over those areas. We cannot deny that. But the irony of fate is, that's not enough. Chosen Nation's justice has led us to dead end. Now with the arrival of blockchains, internet big data, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrencies, their power slipping away from their hands. So, no longer need to be afraid of horror stories of all kind of signs in Simpsons or Madonna's or Lady Gaga's video clips. Solomon's plan is psychological pressure, elements of psychological intimidation. And that's why all those signs, all those plans, all those conspirology stories about great power of Illuminati have to be divided by 2 or 3, because all of them are elements of psychological warfare and we shouldn't become victims. Also here I want to mention about the signs that Satanists, Illuminati are using. In fact, they are our ancestor signs for the gods. Long time before, people was worshipping many gods. God of the sun, God of the wind, God of the rain, God of the wisdom, and so on. Those signs was representing those gods. Now their meaning is crippled simply to scare and confuse people. So, don't get caught on the hook. You can free yourself from those imaginary chains. That would be it for today. Hope you liked my video. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, and see you very soon, my friend.